The next stop is Newcastle at 7:29. Sorry. So reverser to forward, brake release, and power to notch 3. So departing Morpeth, the speed limit is 125 miles an hour, and we have about 17 miles to Newcastle. So at Newcastle, I will change over from the JT Newcastle to Edinburgh, and then I will change to the DPSimulation East Coast Mainline Northeast. And then take the train as far as York. Change routes again to the East Coast Mainline Modern, Peterborough to York. Then again onto the East Coast Mainline South, London to Peterborough. Speed limit is now 110 miles per hour. So we should be in Newcastle in about 15 minutes. So stations coming up, we have Cramlington and Manners. We also have Heaton Depot. Yeah, this train really doesn't take very long to get up to 110. So the current time of recording is about 2:30, and this is meant to go out at 5. So I'm cutting it really short this time. Yeah, I should have recorded it this morning, but my cat decided to sleep on me, so I couldn't really move until it decided to leave. Until she decided to leave. So at the moment, I can't do any stopping trains between Metro Centre and Chatham or Chat Hill, not Chatham. I can't do services between Metro Centre and Chat Hill. Stupid drivers. Because the current service is run by buses and not trains, so I can't do that. The scenario from Liverpool to Euston is about 2/3 of the way finished. So I've done the section between Crewe and the section between Liverpool and Stafford. I've done the part from Stafford to Rugby, and now I just need to make this scenario the busiest bit between Rugby and London Euston, calling out Watford. Yeah, the timetable, because I think there's some engineering going on, the train is diverted through Northampton instead of avoiding it, so it will make the scenario a little bit longer and more interesting. And also, we just wait today, the channel reached 300 subscribers. That's insane. So what I'm planning on doing on Sunday is a charity live stream to raise money for a charity, the United Nations Foundation. I would have picked the NHS because that's the main healthcare service in England, but the NHS doesn't have an account on Tiltify. So also the United Nations Foundation directly works with the World Health Organization to find a cure for COVID-19 because we all want to get out of quarantine, even though the government is pushing it for some reason. Like, why would you ease lockdown if there's no cure? It just sounds stupid. So next station is Cramlington, timetable through at 7:17. Oh yeah, and I think it's called Matt Lucas or something. So he basically did an impersonation of, or impression, not impersonate, an impression of Boris Johnson, how he can't really make up his mind about whether to go to work or not. So he said, go to work, don't go to work, go to work, don't go to work. And go to work, but don't take public transport. Go outside, don't go outside. And we may or may not, something or other. Yeah, and everybody is pretty much really pissed off that the government can't really make up their mind about the crisis. So trying to keep our speed at 110. I think when lockdown ends at some point in time, the first thing I'm going to do is get a haircut, but because my hair is really starting to annoy me. But when you're trying to put in headphones, your hair just kind of gets in the way. And then when you take your headphones off, your hair kind of gets trapped in it. Trapped in the strap thingies at the top, where you adjust the height of the headphone. So far, I'm really enjoying this scenario, even though I initially thought this was going to be really boring because I'm not the biggest fan of the East Coast Main Line. But the Newcastle to Edinburgh route is just really pretty to look at. And it also runs very smoothly, mainly because it just uses assets from like 10 years ago. Another foot crossing. We're also being warned for a speed limit of 100 miles an hour on the speedometer. So Newcastle in 6 miles. So the next point of interest will be Heaton Depot. I don't remember what I put on the depot because I think I made the scenario last week, and it's already Thursday. I think it's Thursday. What is it? Thursday. So by the end of the week, we should be in Darlington. So speed limit is going down to 100 very shortly. If I get my frame rate back. So if I had to pick between the West Coast and the East Coast, I would definitely pick the West Coast because you can travel a lot quicker at 125. It has more bends, you have pendulums, you have more freight, more passenger services. I like how the line kind of weaves left and right as it traverses the West Coast. Because the East Coast, the majority of it is just a straight line mostly. Yeah, not much freight uses the East Coast. If I get a decent frame rate back, a decent one. Thank you. And the continue's gone. We're now approaching Heaton Depot. I think this is because Train Sim can only load in so much at once. Yeah, the graphics engine is so old. Yeah, I think all the developers now are trying to push it to its limits with the new releases. So I left it Heaton Depot, I'll put in some Paces, 3 150s, a Voyager. Yeah, not much. And some Azumas as well. I wonder if it's 60 miles an hour as we approach Manners. Where's the catenary? Oh, it's just slowing in. That's odd. So 60 in about 0.3 miles. So in Newcastle, we are due into platform number 3. Timetable arrival is 7:26 and departure is 7:29. Speed limit is going down to 40 as we approach Manners. Line on the right is part of the Tyne and Yard metro system. Yeah, Newcastle is very heavily built up. So slow down to 40 miles an hour, like so. And just coast for a bit through Manor Station and slow down as we approach Newcastle. This is Manners Station. You better watch your manners. I think if you get a flashing single yellow, you should treat that as a single solid yellow. So I should prepare to stop at the next signal if it's a danger. So we've got 20 limit coming up as we come into Newcastle Station. So we're cleared into platform 3 in Newcastle. Line for the left joins from Sunderland. So you can see there's a Voyager that came in empty from York with train 5 Sierra 29. Yeah, Newcastle is very quiet these days. Maybe I should have put in some more static trains, like some stable units. So because this train is fond of 9 coaches, I'm going to stop right at the end. And I'm pretty sure that our pantograph would have struck that bridge over there. Or we just passed. So stopping into Newcastle. So arrival at Newcastle. Next stop is Durham at 7:43. So doors are closed, reverser to neutral, reset AWS, and power to notch 2. So to back to Newcastle, the speed limit is 20 miles an hour, and we have about 14 miles to Durham. I am now on the East Coast Main Line Northeast by DPSimulation. So I just changed over from the Newcastle to Edinburgh route, and I'm now on the East Coast Main Line Northeast by DPSimulation. So we're going to go over the King Edward Bridge, over the River Tyne, and then towards Lawfell, through Chester Street to Durham. Yeah, it's pretty slow going out of Newcastle. So at Durham this part will end, and then part 5 will be from Durham to Darlington. Or to Durham to York. I've already said this earlier, I've already forgotten. Speed limit now 25, going up to 30. Line to the left, kind of circles back round towards Sunderland. Yeah, last time I drove down here was in the new measurement train on a live stream. Speed limit is now 30 miles an hour. The frame rate is literally so smooth. So nice. So line going down to the left goes towards the metro centre. I don't remember the gradient, but it looks really steep. So it's going up to 50, then 60, then 70 to 100. So speed limits are going up to 60 miles an hour. So accelerate to 60 and accelerate to 50 until we can accelerate to 50. So speed limit now is 60 miles an hour, shortly going up to 70. Yeah, this accelerates like a rocket. Speed limit is now 70 miles per hour. We can accelerate to 70. Speed limit is now going up to 100 miles an hour. So between switching routes, Nintendo announced the next Paper Mario game, Paper Mario the Origami King. It's like, I wish Nintendo would stop using paper as a gimmick for Paper Mario. But paper is just aesthetic, it's not like a gimmick. I mean, I do like it. I think I saw a partner system, or one of the partners, and there's also now an audience in the battle stage thing. So I like Nintendo brought back some of the partner stuff and the audience in a battle. I don't know if they would keep the stupid cars bullshit stuff, because nobody liked the car stuff. And the trailer ended with Mario in Samus's helmet. It's a helmet. So speed limit is now 115. So coming up on the right is Tyne Yard. Because I really do like Paper Mario, especially the first three. Because the aesthetic was unique, the gameplay was amazing, and the story was Mario, pretty much. It was a Mario story. So not too complex and not too simple. 91 from Doncaster to Edinburgh. Yeah, it's good to see that LNER are still keeping some 91s and coaches. So, and it releases on July 17th, so about 2 months. So I guess Bowser is going to be the main villain again. Would it be nice to have them? Would it have been nice to have some sort of some other unique villain, like in Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door? The ultimate villain was Grodus, not Bowser. Bowser was more the secondary character who got left behind. I think that's it. I've only seen the trailer once. So speed limit is going down to 110. So I think we should get to 125 just before we get to Darlington, and then we should travel at 125 all the way from Darlington to York. So I think the northern part is the slowest section. So the speed limit is now 110, and it's shortly go back up to 125. No, 115. So Durham, platform 1 from 741 to 743. Even though the actual train got in a little bit earlier. Speed limit is now 115. So after we cross this massive viaduct, we will pass through Chester Street Station. we're now approaching Chester Street Station. Yeah, I don't know what the service pattern is like for Chester Street during lockdown, because before lockdown you had transatlantic trains that stopped between Newcastle and Liverpool. I think it was an hour service. And maybe the platforms have been extended a little just so you can fit a 5-car IET in there. Mainly Transpennines 802s or Nova 1s. So Durham coming up in about 4 miles, so we should be there in no time. Over another massive viaduct with some cows on the right. So my FPS at the moment is between 30 and 40. Yeah, I should have put a limit on the game itself to run at 30 instead of just like being all over the place. So speed limit is going down to 90 miles an hour. Just as we round the curve towards Durham. So we've got a right curve, then a left curve, then some loops, and then Durham Station. Speed warning for 75 miles an hour. That comes into force just before we get into Durham Station. So here are the Durham up and down loops, mainly used for freight. So we can get speed down just so we can actually stop in Durham Station. On the left is Durham Cathedral. I think that's its name. So at Durham, I'm aiming to stop right at the end of the platform because these IETs are even longer than the 91s by a bit. It would have helped if I broke earlier. So this is the end of part 4. So thank you for watching, follow me on Twitter for future video updates, and in the next parts I will drive further south towards York. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next part, which should be tomorrow. So arrival into Durham Station.